Segne
Heute
dich.
ist ein wunderschöner Tag.
Menhart, I'm ready to engage the Kuttenbergers by your side.
Wunderbar. Let us go and tell Fridusch. It is high time we put an end to this disgraceful schlamassel.
Today, 2 sword-fighting brotherhoods will match their skills. The Kuttenberg Brotherhood, led by Master Nicholas.
Glory to Kuttenberg! Kick those Germans' asses, Emmeram!
And the Frankfurt Brotherhood, led by Master Menhard.
It is an honor to be able to show off our skill in front of the whole Kuttenberg.
The reason for these duels is the dispute over the right to run the local sword-fighting hall and the associated brotherhood. The local brotherhood was founded by Emmeram the Butcher and his associates. What they did not know, though, was that King Wenceslas had tasked Master Menhard to do the same.
The king ain't here, Emmeram is! The Brotherhood belongs to the Kuttenbergers!
And since King Wenceslas cannot resolve the dispute, the town council ruled it shall be decided through a duel. So, the matter shall be settled before the eyes of the council, as well as the burghers of Kuttenberg and God Almighty.
A wise decision by the council. Let the best master lead our brotherhood.
The duels will be fought with long swords and in light armor. Each dueler will face each on the opposing team, and whoever beats his opponent twice wins the duel. The brotherhood whose members get more victories will be declared the overall winner. As is the law, all the necessary armor was lent to you from the town armory, and you must fight in it. If there is anything wrong with the armor, you can fix it with any of the repair tools you'll find in the armorer's tent. And in case someone gets seriously injured, the bathmaid will give them the care they need. Or Father Tobias will perform the necessary rites.
But I do not think it will come to that.
Now that everything has been made clear, swear before God. You will fight fairly, justly, and respect the judge's decisions, as well as the outcomes of the duels.
Das geloben wir, im Namen des Vaters, des Sohnes und des Heiligen Geistes.
By God Almighty, we so swear.
All the requisites have been satisfied. Therefore, let us proceed to the first duel. Master Menhart against Lindhart, the cobbler. Ready? Go for it!
The flag is ready!
Für den Anfang!
End of duel!
Quick, bleeding!
Today's first victory goes to Master Menhard. Let's see if he can keep it up, or if Linhart can even the score. Get ready for the next round. For the glory of Kuttenberg, let the duel begin. End of duel.
That stings. At least it stopped the bleeding.
People of Kuttenberg, behold, Master Menhart proved his mastery. He defeated Linhart for the second time, giving the Frankfurt Brotherhood its first victory. Moreover, Lady Fortune has a difficult task in store for Linhart, because the lot drawn determined that the next fight will also be his. This time it's Henry who will face him on the side of the Frankfurt Brotherhood. Cheer for both fighters. We'll shortly see which of them will best his opponent. No time to lose. Get to it. End of duel. Lady Luck is certainly not on Linhart's side. Henry wins the first duel. Swordsmen, get ready for a new duel. Let's see if the winner can keep it up. Ready? Fight!
You won't get me!
Bad luck!
Use your feet!
Let the steel sing! Holding it like a
Like a shovel.
Henry showed Linhart who's the better sword fighter again. That makes the second victory for the Frankfurt Brotherhood.
Excuse me?
To the third duel. The Gutenbergers will be represented by Hammer of the Butcher. Give him your support, and we'll see if he can do better than Linhart. Because his opponent will once more be Master Menhart.
Oh, yes. That ointment is a gift from heaven. Now they only ache when there's a storm.
That's handy, isn't it? At least you know when to round up.
Contenders, get to it!
That hit home!
End of duel! You saw it with your own eyes, good citizens of Gutenberg. Menhardt's skill is second to none. He wins again. Can Amaram still manage to defeat him? We'll soon find out. Let your steel ring! Fight! End of duel! It's finished! Not even the illustrious Amaram could withstand the German master's sword. The Frankfurt Brotherhood thus has 3 wins already. None for Gutenberg so far. Two swordsmen we haven't seen yet will now show us their skills. Arne the German will face Master Nicholas. Soon we'll find out if Nicholas can secure the first victory for the Gutenbergers.
Suddenly everyone... Oh, it's you. Back already? Looks like it, doesn't it? It sure does. Go on then. What was it?
What can
Contenders, forward!
No place like it.
Watch out. He's coming round. Zum Teufel!
And the victor is... Nein!
Mit der Hilfe Gottes I will continue.
You're brave, but foolish. This will not end well for you. Yield.
Niemals. Arne does not yield.
Reicht! This Gefecht is over. You win.
You acted with chivalry, Master Menhart. But intervening in a duel is a breach of the rules. There is no choice but to disqualify you from the tourney.
How does it look?
He's badly shaken up, but that should improve in time. At first, I thought I'd have to send for the priest, but he had more luck than sense.
Was ist mit deinem Auge? Siehst du meine Hand, Arne?
Nein.
The good news is the blade missed his eye. The bad news is such a blow to the head can cause many different problems. I hope in time he'll get his sight back in that eye, but I can't say for sure. In my experience, it's in the Lord's hands.
Send for the best physician in all of Kuttenberg. Schnell! I will pay alles.
Rest assured, Master Menhart, we will send for him as you command. I am sorry that the whole affair has taken such an unfortunate turn. I will pray for your companion's health.
Danke, Friedusch. Aber what about the duels?
Beruhige dich, Arne.
Yes, that's what I came here to clarify. However, I expect on account of Arne's injury, your brotherhood has forfeit the fight.
Nein, Menhart. Du musst keep fighting.
As Arne says, Menhard and me can continue.
Heinrich had recht. I want to duel Nicholas.
I understand your wish, Menhard, but I can't grant it. You've been disqualified.
Scheiß drauf! I will fight Nicholas, and you better get out of my way, Friedusch!
I'm warning you, Menhard. You swore to respect the results of the duels.
Verdammt!
Listen, Nicholas has defeated Arne, and Arne is in no shape to continue. So all 3 victories go to the Kuttenbergers. Menhard, you defeated Emmeram and Linhart, but you can't duel Nicholas. So 2 victories belong to you, and 1 to the Kuttenbergers. The only one who can still fight for you is Henry. He already defeated Linhart, so the score is 3-4 in favor of the Kuttenbergers, with 2 duels left.
If I beat both Emmeram and Nicholas, the score will be even. What happens then?
Ein Moment, Friedrich. I did not fought Nikolaus. It is not right and honorable for Kuttenbergers to get the victory for this. Humor me, Friedrich. You stand to gain either way. If the Kuttenbergers win am Ende, it will not matter. Aber if we win, I will repay you sehr gut. You have my word.
All right, then. The score is tied at 3 each. So if Henry beats both Emmeram and Nicholas, you'll get the overall victory.
Gut, Heinrich. Fight for us. You are ein guter Fechter.
Also, Heinrich, our fate and our honor lies in your hands.
I won't let you down. You have my word.
Well said. I'll be waiting for you in the arena where you'll face Emmeram. So get ready quickly. Hear ye, hear ye! Arne the German can't take part in further duels due to his injuries. So 3 wins go to Gutenberg. The Frankfurt Brotherhood has won 3 rounds, but so has Gutenberg. Master Menhart cannot duel against Master Nicholas since he's been disqualified from further rounds. Their duel will not count at all. That leaves us with only 2 duels left. In the first, Henry will now face Emmeram. Contenders, get to it!
Give him what for! Shut that up! Do things.
End of duel! Put on a great show and won over Emmeram. Even Arne's severe injury doesn't seem to have broken the Frankfurt Brotherhood's resolve. Let's see if Henry can keep it up in the second round. No time to lose. Get to it. End of duel. Look at that! Henry remains unbreakable and undefeated. He defeated the Butcher again. That's another victory for the Frankfurters. Good citizens, wise counselors of Gutenberg, it is time for the last duel. Here, Master Nicholas will take up his sword again to face none other than Henry. The current score is 4 wins for the Germans and 3 for Gutenberg. If Henry can win, the match is over. For the glory of Gutenberg, let the duel begin!
That's not fighting.
singing.
So much shit kicked out of him.
I can smell it from here.
Unbelievable! Master Nicholas is defeated! Henry is now in for a really tough fight. I can see that Nicholas is burning with eagerness to get revenge. Here comes his opportunity! Ready? Go for it!
No mercy!
The blade was...
Ha! You never saw that coming.
End of duel! How incredible and truly unexpected! Master Nicholas is defeated for the second time! Was it the doing of luck, or did Menhart make Henry a true swordmaster? Either way, victory and glory are Henry's! All of the duels we should or could have seen today are over! Now, all that remains is to settle the very matter that inspired the duels in the first place. I invite both brotherhoods to step closer. Revered counselors, righteous burghers of Gutenberg, lend me your ears one last time. Two sword-fighting brotherhoods have clashed before the eyes of God as well as yours to demonstrate their skill and settle their dispute. And it was a spectacle beyond all expectations. The Frankfurt Brotherhood secured 5 victories against the Gutenberg Brotherhood's 3. The right to run the local sword-fighting hall and to teach the art of the long sword thus falls to Master Menhart of Frankfurt. That was the task entrusted to him by King Wenceslas, and Menhart has duly defended his claim. Thus is it settled before witnesses and by God's will.
It's just like Friedrich said. The council is in agreement on this, and we'll instruct the scribe to enter the proper records of everything at the earliest opportunity.
Let this dispute be thus justly settled, and let there be no further enmity between you.
Thank you, Friedrich, for finding justice and for overseeing the matter so wisely. We would like to invite all good Kuttenbergers to come and learn.
Fuck! We built the sword fighting hall with our own money. You can't just take it from us.
As for the money you invested, you'll be duly compensated for your good service to the town. I shall see to that. And I'd like to remind you that you have sworn to submit to the outcome of the duels. Don't forget that.
I won't forget this, Friedrich. I'm done with you.
Heinrich, let us leave Meister Metzger with Friedrich and go to Arne.
Menhart, I had word sent to Master Torwart to expect you at the apothecary shop on Tarmac. He's also currently hosting the famous physician Sigismund Albicus, so Arne will receive the best possible care.
Hab vielen Dank, Friedrich.
Good day, Meister Menhart. Oswald Torwart, Magister at your service.
Gut. Arne hier braucht deine Hilfe. Und schnell.
Beruhige dich. I know everything. Herr Albicus, the physician, is already upstairs preparing all that is necessary. In just a short while, Arne will receive treatment fit for a king. Rest assured.
Gott sei Dank, Herr Oswald.
Tell me about your fight before Albicus gets ready. Rumors spread like wildfire, but they have not yet reached us at Tarmac.
Letztendlich lief es ausgezeichnet. We won dank Heinrich hier, and our claim was recognized. Heinrich fought for us, and fortune stood by him today. Der König himself would be proud of him.
Genau, Heinrich. Glory to you. You have gerettet our Ersche.
And to defeat Meister Nicholas too? I have no words. Unglaublich, Heinrich. Ganz ausgezeichnet.
You know, Menhard, Henry of Skalitz is no easy mark.
I'm glad to hear that. Congratulations to all of you, especially to Henry, as word has it.
Gut. Gut. Jetzt noch wait until Arne heals, and then we take over the Fechthalle and die Bruderschaft. Heinrich, komm zu mir in a few days when alles fertig ist. What better place to reward you than there? And zwar richtig. You can be sure. And do not get too betrunken when you are celebrating your victory.
I will only go drinking when there's 3 of us. When Arne is all right again.
Good. We drink out of joy for my recovery, or out of sadness for my eye.
I'm sure it'll be the former.
Wunderbar. Deal.
Menhard, ich muss mich hinlegen. Ich fühle mich ein bisschen krank und schwach.
Of course. Menhard, let's get him inside. The quiet and a bit of shade will do him good.
Can I be of any help?
Danke. We can manage this. Bis bald.
Hey, good here.
All right.
By the way, like you were saying about that book,
My favorite book? Pray tell, did you find it?
as I wandered through the fortress, I stumbled upon von Bergov's chambers, and there it lay. Red leather, gold inlay, just as you said.
You really found it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. By the way, did you have any time to leaf through it and see what it's about?
I read a bit of it.
What did you think?
Why don't you tell me what you find so compelling about it? It's your favourite book, right?
Well, let's say that I identify with the author. We share a similar view of the world.
And who is the author? I didn't find a name in the book.
That's on purpose.
You wrote it, didn't you?
Look, you've never thought about writing something.
Me? And what would I write?
How should I know? Poetry, a novel, a treatise, or a whole book?
I've been through quite a bit, but I never thought of writing it down.
Wouldn't you want to at least give it a try?
I suppose I'm not quite sure where you're going with this.
There are still a few blank pages left, so we could finish writing it together. You and me. What do you think?
That sounds great.
We'll have plenty of light and privacy in my chambers. Will you escort me?
My pleasure.
How should I start?
You haven't thought of anything yet?
Now, I have many ideas, but we must contribute in equal part.
Both? Well, fine. And what should I do?
Just tell me what you'd like to read about. A tale of a man or a woman? I'll take careful notes of everything.
There are heaps of stories about men, so I propose one about a woman.
All right, a woman then. But I'd need to know more about her.
Such as...
Tell me one trait that is important for you. What would impress you in a girl?
I admire courage in girls. They're weaker than men, and life is rarely easy for them, but they still don't give up.
Do you know one like that? Tell me about her.
Back home in Rattay, there's Teresa from the mill.
That's a nice name.
We go way back to Skalitz. She also survived the raid of Sigismund's army. Later, she saved my life, when a gang of bandits had nearly beat it out of me.
She did that alone?
No, but she called for help. And then she nursed me until I could get back on my feet.
Lord, that sounds like a story of some saint.
Nah, not at all. That's just Teresa, my ordinary flour cake girl from the mill.
Yours? Oh, well, never mind. Let's say we write about a woman who is brave and isn't afraid to say what she thinks. Would she do it for herself or for someone else?
Make her brave for someone she loves. That's much more commendable than if she were only thinking of herself.
You can't disagree with that. And to make things a little more interesting, the love will be secret and forbidden, because forbidden fruit tastes the sweetest. Well, just about finished.
Well, let's have a look.
Not yet. Something's missing.
What?
A picture. I don't trust myself with proper illumination, but I think I can handle a sketch, especially if you'll be my model.
What? And what on earth do I have to do?
Lie on the ground on your stomach and swing your legs, but not much. Like you're lazing around.
That doesn't sound too bad.
Well, now we're done.
Finally. I'm sore all over.
Your suffering is over. Come take a look at what we've done. Your reward. This book won't be getting any more done. So what about that story of ours? Tell me your impressions.
That's nice. A bit didactic, but not to the point of boring moral bludgeoning. And that's the way it should be. Sermons for ordinary people work in a similar way. They entertain and encourage, with a few lessons added in between.
You see, when I lead Mass one of these days, I'll certainly think of you. And what about the sketch? For such a slapdash job, it's not bad, right?
Oh, it's pretty, really. I don't think I've ever seen anything like that.
I know I'm no master illuminator, but otherwise, I think we can be quite satisfied. And thank you for the help. I really enjoyed it.
Well, so did I. And for that matter, you're an interesting girl, and I'd like to get to know you a little better.
No beating around the bush. How about that? Please do stop by sometime. I wager it will be enlightening for both of us. Perhaps I can show you my collection of hunting trophies.
I'm sorry.
Danger on God's earth, men.
I'm sorry.
Even an honest man said. But under this
Glad to see you again.
You have the gall to show me your face again? I'll call the guards.
Hold your horses. I'll come in peace. Actually, I have a little offer for you.
You've come to blackmail me again?
Call it what you like. I need to get into the City Council Assembly, and I reckon you can help me.
The Assembly? The one King Sigismund is supposed to attend in person?
Surely you wouldn't deny me a chance to meet the king?
Don't try that on me. This is connected with Ruthard, isn't it? And tell the truth.
I want to know what Sigismund tells the council. I hear it'll be important.
You want to spy? Do you know what you're risking? And what I'd be risking? Forget it.
Have you forgotten I have you over a barrel? If you want to keep your position and your head on your shoulders, you better shape up.
All right, all right. Maybe we can make a deal. If I get you into the council, you'll behave appropriately and you won't betray yourself, or especially me. And that will be the end of our business together.
All right. That seems like a fair deal.
You can get into the council assembly relatively easily. My cook's son will be serving there. He's roughly around your age. Maybe he can be persuaded to let you stand in for him. Although, not everyone would want to give up an opportunity to serve the King of Hungary.
What will I need to work as a waiter there?
Fast feet and good manners. And the livery of a royal waiter.
Excuse me?
Do you think you can serve the king in a torn shirt and muddy hose?
Well, no. But I never heard about any livery before.
Our usual waiter had a brand new livery made specially for meeting the king. Don't even show up there without it.
Who's this boy?
Franta's his name. Franta Cooldown. He's an idler and a boozer, but he's proved his worth as a waiter. Which reminds me, you'll need his letter of permission to serve in the council. Otherwise, you won't be let inside.
Where can I find the cook's boy?
He's supposed to pick up his new clothes at the market today, from Master Tailor Schneider. You'll almost certainly run into him there. That is, if he's up and about after his boozing bout. I swear that fellow practically lives at that Tin Hen.
At the what?
That German alehouse, the Iron Eagle. That is Zum Eisernen Adler.
What would work on him? How can I persuade him to give me his job?
Would you like me to give you a letter for him? I told you how to get to the assembly. Now do your part.
I'll be going then. See you at the council.
Just make sure we both come out of it alive.
Dear men! Fine day for some... Huh?
Don't be shy. Come closer and take it. Quality goods.
Greetings. I'd like to...
Surely you can wait a while. I have a customer here. Here you are. The finest fabric. Intricate work. You won't find the likes anywhere else in this town.
No more than I'd expect after the amount they cost. Thanks. I'll gladly recommend you if anyone asks. And you impatient fella, what was it you wanted?
You must be Franta Cooldown.
I am. And who might you be?
I'm Henry. I heard you're supposed to serve at the City Council Assembly.
I am. What's it to you?
Supposing I took the job on for you. You can put your feet up, fill your belly, and I'll do all the work for you.
Look here. It's not like I'm all that keen on it, but it's well paid. Apart from that, it's a bit of a pain in the arse. Them councillors stuffing their faces and guzzling wine, while I run around like a bugger with pitchers so they don't run dry. Why would you want to stick your nose in there?
I want to see the king in the flesh.
Why's that?
Well, I heard a lot about him. How he won lots of battles, how he's courageous, just...
And as bad-tempered as the devil. He's got the councillors shitting themselves, fearing what's coming at this assembly. The more I think about it, the happier I am about not having to be there. To begin with, you'll need confirmation that you've worked as a waiter at the council and you're capable of serving even His Majesty. Look here. Do you have any idea what's expected of you? Can you tell different wines apart and that?
Well, to tell the truth, I'm not exactly an expert.
You're off to a great start, but whatever. If you make a mess of it and the king has you whipped, you've no one to blame but yourself. Show the confirmation to the head butler. Tell him I sent you, and think up some good excuse. Clear?
That makes sense.
And you'll need a waiter's livery. I had a brand new one made. Here it is. I look like a prick in it. Hopefully it'll sit better on you. The main thing is, don't lose it before the assembly, or get it covered in shit.
Thanks. I won't disgrace you, I promise.
You better not.
Lids, the finest mugs. We've got enough mugs for sale. Vegetables.
Franta Cooldown sent me. I'm to stand in for him at the council assembly.
Franta's not coming? What's wrong with him?
He got poisoned. Probably from food. He's writhing in agony. By turns praying and cursing, spewing from both ends.
Oh, that's enough. All right. At least you're here. We can't be without a waiter here, when the king himself will need waiting on. So, let's have a look at you. Have you got Franta's certificate?
Sure. There is.
Everything's in order. Now, about your livery. You've got a waiter's cap, a tunic you have. Hose are good. You can put your steel aside in front of the council chamber, along with your other stuff. You won't be needing it anyway. You don't want to be dragging a load if you're running around tables. Everything as it should be. Glad to see it, lad. Do you know what your duties are? For an inexperienced greenhorn like you, it'll be a great responsibility.
Well, I'll happily listen to any advice. I wouldn't want to foul things up.
I should certainly hope not. Now listen. A good waiter should stand in a corner, look willing and ready, and not get in anyone's way. In short, behave as if you're not there. But when one of the gentlemen calls for wine, you run and pour it for him on the double. You'll find the pitchers on a table by the door to the chapel. You take one and go to their table and pour for them. White Tokai or red monastery wine.
White or red by the door to the chapel. Got it.
But for Councillor Adam of Zarzhitz, you must not pour at all. When he drinks, he disrupts and makes trouble. So the assembly has to be interrupted, or otherwise it never reaches an end. We can't allow that to happen in the presence of the king.
All right. Sir Adam of Zarzhitz stays dry.
And if the king himself wants wine, you pour for him with lowered eyes. Don't look at him. And the most important thing?
To stay in the background and keep quiet until someone asks me something?
Correct. The councillors have a lot to discuss, and they certainly don't need any interruptions. And in general, a good waiter has to be invisible, blind, and deaf.
Oh? I thought I had to keep my ears pricked.
Well, yes, but only to what anyone wants from you. No excuses, and provide everything that anyone wants from you. Understood?
What if I make a mess of something, though?
Then I'll see to it that you won't get a job even mopping the floor in the hole in the wall. But I'm sure that's not going to happen. So, are you prepared?
I know everything I need to. I can do it.
Excellent. Put away your things here. It's easier to serve with a lighter load. You can wait in the cubbyhole for the servants.
Our current Waffen arsenal is a joke, and on top of that, the army was requisitioning from it. Should the town
You there,
reserve have
lad,
worse
a
weapons
cup
than
of
any
red,
Räuber in
and
the
don't
domain?
you skimp on me.
What are you getting at, Eldris?
I'm saying that the bandits who freed Hinnick, the Dry Devil, used that thing.
I apologize, sir.
That hack...
Which wine?
Red, and quickly.
Hand cannon. Can you believe it? Where did they get them?
You're the one who should know where they got them. Since you're a gunsmith.
What are you implying, Friedrich? All I'm saying is that they had them, Herrgott. It is eine Schande when outlaws have better weapons than the city
Come now,
garrison.
waiter. I want it
and
red.
Herr König surely knows this too.
What is it, Eldris? You smell a deal?
What I smell is that your stubborn heads do not realize what Schwierigkeiten this is.
Come now, waiter.
The
I want it
Dry
red.
Devil is running free. There are
Sir?
Raubricker everywhere in the region. We have the army bearing
Thank you,
down,
waiter.
and you won't defend yourselves with a few rusty helmets.
I apologize.
Who is it you want to fight? Exactly. The merciful King Sigismund is providing us with protection.
Isn't he? Der König and his army will not be here forever.
Shut up! The king can arrive at
I
any
fancy
moment.
some Tokai.
What if he heard you?
Refill, boy.
What then? We're careful. The biggest silver heap in the kingdom, and we're supposed to defend it with brooms?
You're right, Eldris.
I'm sorry, sir.
But where can we get the coin
Orders
for
from
better
above.
equipment?
This is
We can always
unbelievable.
confiscate the property of the king's enemies, nicht wahr?
We are more than familiar with the Yemeli
I fancy
state
some
of our
Tokai.
armory.
Refill, boy.
And the king is surely aware of it as well. Maybe if he waived
I
some of the
apologize, sir.
taxes.
The king fears
Tokai,
that this town
white,
will
are
rise
you
against
deaf?
him. He'll take the arming of the city's militia as a preparation for war.
So you suggest we just wait with arms crossed for the Hauptritter to wreak havoc all around?
We can always ask the king to bring order to the realm with his army.
But then the Dörfler will rise.
Sir?
I'm afraid I see no solution of the current situation.
Well,
We shall
thank-
wait and see what His Majesty thinks about the matter. Maybe we can change his mind. Vielleicht?
I'd like to report to the Honorable Council on the cleanliness of the city
sorry?
and the state of the public baths.
You mean baths or brothels?
I'd like some monastery wine. Refill my cup, boy.
Same thing.
I'd like to
So,
oblige.
the cleanliness of the
not
city
allowed.
is not
This is
what
unbelievable.
it should be. The current baths in the city fall far short of covering all the citizens' needs.
You're right, Jerome. But a woman named Betty has showed up on Hopbrink and wants to repair the baths that used to be there.
You there?
She's a protege of Maresh. Her efforts are commendable, but I don't think she will succeed. It takes a firm hand, not soft, feminine fingers.
A moment ago, you were complaining there weren't enough baths. Shouldn't we support her?
Something like this is better handled by trustworthy people, like my friend, bathhouse proprietor Adam. The need for cleanliness and citizens' health should not be underestimated.
Nor overestimated. If someone needs
Tokai,
to wash, there's
and a
a
full
river
cup.
just a few steps from the city walls.
Certainly. And they can get leeches there for free as well. And while he's there, a man can shave and take a... you-know-what.
So what?
Sir?
Going to the baths is neither a civic duty nor a right.
Have you forgotten the Black Death? A great many people died.
Are you questioning God's plan? The Black
I'd
Death
like some
had
monastery
nothing to do
wine.
with the baths.
Refill my cup, boy.
Unless the
That's
Lord
not a
wishes
good
to
idea, sir.
punish the
This is
wickedness
unbelievable.
that's going on in there.
Keeping the city clean is important, but we don't have money to spare. Arguing about who is going to wash where and how is a waste of time.
I got word that Rutard has pulled off another deed.
That's nothing unusual. That old weasel will never accept that the city isn't run his way, at least until His Majesty honors us with his visit. And as we know, Gunslin absolutely hates him.
Waiter!
He can hate
pour
all he
me red
wants,
wine.
as long as he does no damage.
Me? Well,
I'm speaking about the Rutard incident.
Sir?
You were there, weren't you?
just a small misunderstanding. We've sorted it out and everything's settled.
My ears must be deceiving me. Are you defending Rutard? Besides, if his men attacked yours, as I've heard, then we have a good reason to punish him.
Waiter!
What
Pour
happened
me
there?
red wine.
Leave nothing out.
I don't like Rutard, true, but in this case it really was nothing.
Everyone in the city gossiped about it. I heard there were several...
Sir?
Did you? That's grossly exaggerated.
Thank you.
I don't think Rutard will cause any trouble. He is sensible enough not to draw attention to himself while the king was here.
That's true. Because if we don't do something about him,
waiter.
the king
Tell
himself
me
will
some
put an
monastery
end to
wine.
him, and soon.
Unless he puts an end to us first. Knows what he wants to tell us.
If nothing happened, there's no point in dwelling on it.
Sir?
Let's move on.
I'm sorry, Andreas, but I wouldn't brush it off.
Well,
so
thank the Lord.
why do I have the feeling you're not telling us the whole truth?
Are you accusing me of lying?
Those are strong words, my friend. Nobody said anything like that, did they?
Then why doesn't he tell us what really happened,
I'm not keeping anything from you, but there's little truth to the rumors circulating around the town. Yes, Rutard and I had a little disagreement, but we ended it quickly because his daughter wanted to get involved. I didn't want to expose the girl to any unpleasant sights.
So Rutard is hiding behind his own daughter's skirts?
As if it wasn't enough that he sent his son to die defending the city.
All right. If we really don't have anything new to say, let's turn the page.
Things have got out of order in the town. Some adventurers decided to take the law into their own hands and restore the tradition of duels. It's not only barbaric, but also illegal. If we tolerate this, the rabble in the city will go wild and do whatever they want. I suspect the gentleman from the city's sword-fighting school brought this custom to us.
Boy, I'd like
now
some
run
white.
by the German Menhart. Who knows who that fellow is?
Don't be ridiculous, Forsucker. You act like you've never been in a fight.
Sir?
I threw accuse a swordmaster without a shred
Don't hang around me.
of some other fishwives in the marketplace.
So, you will just leave it be?
Proven offences are punished by the bailiff. And that's
Waiter.
that. There are more pressing matters to deal with.
More pressing than the open contempt of the whole town garrison. The guards are apparently settling accounts their own way. We'll
come
soon
here
be
for a
the
moment.
laughingstock of the whole town.
You can rest assured the whole town is already laughing at us all day long. So what if they have one more
Everything
reason?
in order?
Not quite.
My words
But I
exactly.
think you might be able to help.
The town
Come
council
here.
is squabbling constantly at the Emperor Charles,
I'm sorry.
and no one is left unscathed.
What can I help you with, sir?
I left my gloves in the chapel. I took them off to pray, but then I rushed here and forgot to take them. I can't just get up and walk out now, but if you disappear for a little while...
We'll never get anywhere like this. Why waste our time?
I really shouldn't, sir.
A fine servant you are.
I'm sorry.
They are calling diocesan pilgrimages to settlers. Right under our
I'll have
noses.
a cup of white.
It's just a village
A
with
nice
a monastery.
big one.
And they are going to Mokarol mining city. Why can't we build faster?
I
Hire
apologize,
more
sir.
craftsmen. Start with night
Which
shifts.
wine?
Are you colorblind? White!
War going on.
Are the experts from far told the city under siege? Besides, I get the feeling there's something other than the welfare of the city behind your
Good,
complaints.
sir.
Oh, you do? Do you? And what would that be?
Like, for instance, that you'd like to have your altar there.
Hold your horses, gentlemen. That space in the side nave is mine.
Then hell freezes over, mein Freund. Your place is at least 2 steps behind mine.
A swordsmith dares to insult me? Ha! I think not.
Excuse
Why?
me.
I'd like
You
some
wanted
white.
to buy yourself an altar in the cathedral. Just like you
I
bought
apologize,
yourself a
sir.
seat in this council.
Which wine?
How dare
Okay,
you?
wait!
I acquired my seat for the services our guild provided and still provides to the crown.
Well, I hope you're not supplying equipment to the army. If that's all they have, they would be defeated by the...
Good, sir.
Good.
This is news to me.
Because it has all been sorted out. Not long ago, the guards raided and threw them all out.
Ah, yes, I had forgotten. What do we have to discuss next?
Hey, waiter, pour me some Takai.
Sir?
Thank you.
I'm telling you, something is being planned. Oh, I doubt it. No one's gonna tackle Rootard.
Azonal Gülçek Össe, Elegiop Katonaikat, ich Kelkinek Utra.
You have nothing to fear. Not you.
Unlike this plan of false!
Come now, Father. Put a little life into your dying. Seen more cheerful priests at funerals.
I'd rather be at one than here. I hoped I'd never see this fortress again in my life.
Unpleasant memories?
You have no idea. I didn't part ways with my father on entirely good terms. 20 years ago.
And now you're 2 decades older and wiser. At your Ujit's parish, you spread the word of God to your flock, and you saved my neck and Henry's too. I'd say your father should be proud of you.
None of that matters a damn to him.
Who knows? Maybe that 20 years has changed a thing or two.
You know what? Let's drop the subject. Do you know any of the guests here?
Most of them I'm seeing for the first time in my life. It's a pretty varied company. We've had bandits, nobles, burghers, a priest, and even a rabbi coming together here. It's like the start of some joke.
Wait a moment. Rabbi, you say? The Kuttenberg rabbi?
Yeah. He came with a retinue. But for now, they're keeping mostly to themselves. Maybe you should go and welcome some of them. After all, this used to be your home. And you're a spiritual man too, so you should have something in common.
I wouldn't be too sure. But I suppose I can try. What do you plan to do now you're a free man again?
What do you think? Get drunk, woo one of the local wenches, and wake up in the morning with no hose and a head like a church bell.
Have you perchance forgotten we're supposed to be deciding the future of the kingdom here?
I'll leave that to the older and wiser. And duller.
Who's that French fellow you brought here from Malashov?
The great Baron Brabant. Been everywhere, knows everything, and has the keys to half the kingdom. He's got more fairy tales than my old nanny.
Can he be trusted?
He's a blabbermouth, but a harmless one. Besides, he defended Kuttenberg, and you know how that went. If he were on Sigismund's side, he'd hardly have been locked up with me.
How does it feel to breathe free air again?
What can I say? You can never truly appreciate freedom until someone locks you up for a while.
Or until you become a priest.
No fear of that in my case. I intend to enjoy life to the full. Wine, women, and song.
Dear me. I'd rather creep off into some corner with a full wineskin. But I suppose I'll have to introduce myself to the rest of the guests, eh?
Indeed you should. After all, you are one of the lords of Rabosh.
Oh, don't start with that. I'd like to steer clear of the old man as long as I can.
In that case, you should sound out Radzig and Hanush and find out what they're actually planning.
Such rare guests. One wouldn't expect to find among Christians representatives of your community. I'm Godwin. My greetings to you.
Peace be with you. Neither would one expect a priest here, and yet...
How do you know I'm a priest?
It's not difficult to tell. After all, we have much in common. And we are both a little on unfamiliar ground here. I'm Yehuda, leader of the rabbinical court in the sacred community of Kuttenberg. And this is Samuel, my aide.
Who would rather not be here at all. Why did we have to come here, Sadie? Can you not see everyone is staring at us?
Because we all need to help each other in this time of need. And why would they not stare when you are frowning so?
Do you want to make use of the council to improve the status of Jews in the city?
Not at all. However, we would like to give the council something it is sorely lacking. The situation in the town and the kingdom is unsustainable. The whole land is on the brink of destruction. You have men and weapons. We have the means to sustain them.
Why are you telling this to a Koimer? You wanted to deliver what we brought to the Margrave and quickly leave.
Everything in good time, Samuel. We have just arrived, after all.
Did you come to lend money to the lords?
Not to lend, but to give. Help given to the needy is repaid only by God.
You don't even know if you can trust them. With that money, we could have paid mercenaries ourselves.
You remind me of my young friend Henry. He's a bit of a hothead too.
Henry? That messenger of Radzig Copula?
You know each other. You're both around the same age.
That would be him. But we did not get off to a very good start.
Or maybe you'll get to know each other better. He should be coming here later, by the way. For a young stripling, he's been through plenty. It's not so long since his parents were killed in Skalitz. He was supposed to become a blacksmith, and instead, he's roaming the world, risking his neck at every turn.
Wait, a blacksmith, you say? From Skalitz?
Aye, that's right. Did you know anyone there?
I knew of someone. A blacksmith by the name of Martin.
My daughter knew him most, and that is why Samuel is in this world, for our numerous sins.
Maybe he was my father, but he certainly didn't act like one. Ma raised me on her own.
And that was all for the best.
Why? He should have taken care of me, but instead he fathered another bastard.
Don't make hasty judgments. As far as I know, Martin didn't have any other children. At least, none of his own. He took in Henry and raised him as his own, on the orders of the Lord of Skalitz, Sir Radzik Kobila, Henry's real father.
I don't care if he took care of 20 other mamsas.
That boy's blood father denied him, just like yours did to you.
A person can't choose their parents. And Henry only found out about it recently.
Enough. I'd rather have a drink. Will you have one too, Zayde?
For that, there will be more suitable times.
Good health.
L'chaim.
Without an army, and with one, this Felix.
Good health to you, sir. I'm Godwin, a friend of that lad you arrived with, Henry. We don't know each other.
Baron Vauquelin Brabant, Chevalier d'Arezzo. The last of my line. I am a warrior, a traveler, a strategist, and also, à ma manière, a poet.
My word. Isn't that exhausting?
Mais non! And I'm glad to meet a new friend.
It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance, Baron. I knew right away we'd hit it off. How did you end up imprisoned in Malashov?
Ah, c'est une histoire compliquée. It was after I heroically led the defense of Gothenburg, and only lost it narrowly by an unfortunate turn of events.
That needs some explanation. What unfortunate turn of events?
Oh, misère. It is clear you have never been to war.
So, be so kind as to enlighten me.
When they broke through the defense, I ended up in captivity. It was only due to my acquaintances in a court that I escaped execution.
Oh. I thought it was Henry who saved your neck.
My neck was not at risk in Malashov. I may have still been a prisoner with my personal freedom restricted, but they never broke my spirit.
Where have you been on your travels? Have you seen the ocean?
But of course! I was born by the sea. If you are interested in my greatest journeys, then I have traveled with a merchant caravan all the way to the Ottoman Empire. And if you are interested in my greatest deed, then that was perhaps saving the life of the King of France.
And you wouldn't by any chance know the Pope, personally?
Which one do you mean? I spoke briefly with Boniface IX when I was sojourning in Rome. A pleasant fellow.
Dear friends and allies, in these troublesome times, you all know why we're here. The question remains, what to do next. Sigismund is facing troubles in Hungary, and here too he is up against resistance. He's a capable strategist, but a poor diplomat. Mark my words. If we wait him out until winter, he will leave of his own accord.
By winter, he'll have torched all our fortresses and carried off everything that we possess.
Are we seriously gonna wait and cower in a corner? Or are we gonna drive them out in shame? A few well-planned raids and we could have him in our fists!
At what price? Have you got men to spare? Has any of you got men and money to spare?
We don't have men out there.
Yes, we do.
We do not.
Jobst is right. That whole sun won't fall easily.
Only we can't wait.
Are we to get ourselves killed?
Or end with nothing?
Friends, we'll get nowhere like this. Let's adjourn ourselves and try to think it through.
Well, that went just as expected. Good health.
And to yours. Could it have gone any other way when there's so many of us here?
I would have expected a bit more sense from Jobst, of all people. He made an amateur's mistake. But it's hard to be angry with him when he's trying to ingratiate himself with everyone. By the way, I'm John of Liechtenstein. And you must be Godwin, the son of...
That's not a thing I've ever boasted of. How do you know that?
I have my sources. From what I've heard about you, I'd judge you could be quite useful to me at today's gathering.
Is that so?
Indeed. And that's why I'd like to ask something of you.
I'm too busy at the moment. That wine's not going to pour itself for me.
Certainly, friend. But you ought to know there is a certain matter you should attend to. I expect we can agree that Jobst's plan has certain shortcomings?
That's a weak word.
And the way it stands at the moment, he'll never get the support of the council. But I have an idea how to change that.
Well, I'm curious how you hope to shut Zizka up and satisfy the ones who want peace.
We'll sit and wait quietly until Sigismund withdraws of his own volition, as Jobst proposes, but we'll be waiting in the military camp of our huge new army.
When Sigismund sees that, he'll be off to Hungary all the sooner. At a gallop.
Exactly. Sigismund's army is demoralized and weakened. And besides, he's running out of resources. He's able to tackle fortresses that aren't able to defend themselves, but he won't engage an equal force on the battlefield.
But he can't retreat either. That would be a disgrace.
And that's exactly why we'll wait until he's called back to Hungary by events there. For the plan to work, we need allies, their money and their determination. We've already set the ground for it. We just need negotiators who will push the right people in the right direction.
Are you saying you set everything in motion even before Jobst?
More like in parallel, but without his knowledge. If we find support and make it look like the whole thing was his idea, we'll all win.
You've got an interesting way of approaching things.
You're certainly not the first to tell me that. I take it as a compliment.
Why are you doing all this anyway?
Because I want to put a stop to the senseless deaths. And also because I'm happier with Wenceslas on the Bohemian throne.
I'll help you. What exactly should I do?
I'll give you 3 names. Botchek of Kunstadt, Hamann Alder, and Anna of Waldstein. If you can get those three on our side, we've won the day. Meanwhile, I'll take care of Jobst.
I'll get on it then. Wish me luck.
I wish us both luck. Before the day is over, the die will be cast.
I'd rather discuss those alliances sober.
I'll tell you, no one thinks of these.
Not even Botchek?
Not even Bot.
I'd like to check your horses out and see if they're as good as you say.
Pah, even better. But you won't believe it until you see for yourself.
And you might not believe your eyes when you do see them. Well, well, we have a new guest.
I wanted to...
You wanted to apologize for crashing into my home without it by your leave. Or to arrest my guests some more?
I want to have a word with Older.
Well, I'm having a word with you.
I apologize, Father.
For interrupting our conversation? Or just for being you?
Is that your...
Unfortunately. Speak up then. What are you doing here?
I came with a delegation from Sir Hanush of Lipa.
Is this a joke?
Why so strict, Martin?
20 years ago, he was nothing but a cheeky brat, only interested in wenches and booze. I got him a place at the Archbishopric to have some sense beaten into his head. Only it wasn't long before they kicked him out. And then I find out he's settled in some backwater parish in Sassau. But he took his boozing and whoring along with him, lost everything, and then came creeping home again. Huh?
Try saying it again a little louder. They might not have heard you in the outer courtyard.
You have the impertinence to show me your face after the way you disgraced our whole family?
I wouldn't set foot here if I had a choice. Better to be a priest in some backwater than have a father like you.
How dare you?
You're as shit a father as I am a son. We've got nothing to blame each other for. And now let me speak to Older.
You're dishonoring your host.
I can't dishonor someone who has no honor. If you had any, you'd be...
That's enough.
Christopher.
You won't get away with those insults. I challenge you to a duel.
I'm not happy about it, but I accept. This isn't how I imagined my first meeting with my brother.
Make room for us. We'll just settle a very private matter. It's an honorable duel, man against man. Stay back. Hey, who told you that?
Stand firm! Otherwise the first strike will put you on your arse! What's wrong with your
They
legs?
teach you that in the seminary?
Cover your right side! You've got a gap there I can drive a cart through! This arm lower!
Not bad for a priest.
You don't know which end of that thing is up!
Did they teach you that in the seminary?
Swing with your
Who taught
whole
you that?
arm, not just your wrist! Look in my
You're
eyes,
fast.
not at my sword!
Fuck you!
Enough! That will do. My God, where did you learn to wield a sword like that? Father always said you were a good-for-nothing boozer. But you could teach sword fighting in a school.
I was in a war. Right after they kicked me out of the Archbishopric. And you ought to know yourself. Not all the faults that Father sees are real.
Aye. Well, I apologize for going off like that. I had to, so that...
So Father would be satisfied. I know. Only he'll never be satisfied. The sooner you realize that, the better.
I thought he was the way he was because his first son let him down. And he hoped at least his second would become something.
Not at all. I remember him the same since I was a nipper. When I was 6 years old, I fell off a horse and broke my leg. He wouldn't talk to me for a week because I'd let him down.
The first time he took me hunting, he let me starve for 3 days until I was able to shoot my first hare.
Only 3 days? He got soft.
I always wondered who you were. There was never much talk about you at home.
Look, I really did fuck up everything I could. I brawled and boozed until they threw me out of my own parish. But now, I have a chance to put things to rights a little.
And that's why you want to talk to Alder.
I've got to get him on our side and to cooperate with us.
Aren't we all on the same side?
Maybe everyone's saying that. But it's time to put it into action.
After your encounter with Father, it won't be easy to get to Alder. Actually, I don't think you should even attempt it. Unless you want to anger Father even more.
What else can I do, though?
I'll talk to him myself. He'll hear me out for sure. But you'll have to trust me. And tell me what it's all about.
All right, then. You've heard Yob's plan, right? It's a nice idea, but we can't wait around without an army to back us up.
Only no one's going to pay for one, because that would be an outright admission of rebelling against Sigismund.
Alder's got some clout with the councillors and burghers who are loyal to Sigismund. If he agrees, they'll follow.
I expect Alder's not the only one you're after.
You got that right.
Leave Alder to me. The plan sounds sensible, and he's no fool.
I don't know how to thank you.
You can drag me to a tavern sometime. Pa doesn't need to know about it.
You're starting to sound like a brother.